Hi everyone, I'm delighted to be joining you virtually today. Thank you so much to Reverend Richard for inviting me back to speak again. My name is Hannah and I'm the Relationship Manager working across the East of England with our supporters and volunteers. Today I hope to share with you a short update and a little bit about how your support helps to make a positive difference and impact on the children and young people that we serve. I'd like to start by saying a very warm thank you to both St Mary's and St Peter's for the much appreciated Christingle donations. Despite this being a year like no other, we thank you so much for celebrating Christingle and this generous support. Alongside the direct services that we run, of which we have over 80 across England, we also run campaigns with the aim of bringing about policy and systems change, which can then have a wider impact on the lives of children and young people. In the services we run, project workers ensure these young people are supported and empowered and that their voices are heard. Last year, we worked with over 10,000 young people through these direct services. Throughout the pandemic, this work has continued. Practitioners have found different ways to adapt, including supporting through virtual means. All of the learnings and what has worked well in virtual ways has been taken forward. I'd like to provide a little bit of reflection on hope. What does hope mean to you, I wonder? One of my all-time favourite films is The Lord of the Rings, and when I rewatched it recently, I found myself really moved by one of the scenes where it seems that all hope is lost. Frodo asks, "What are we holding on to, Sam?" And Sam says that there's some good in this world, Mr. Frodo, and it's worth fighting for. You may think, how is Lord of the Rings relevant to this theme and the talk today? But actually, many themes of Christian theology are in Tolkien's work. For example, good versus evil, mercy versus pity, light versus darkness. As we hear from one of the readings today, from Romans, hope is also a key part of Christian faith. Through difficult times, hope drives us forward. Hope isn't passive, and with faith and love is one of the enduring things as mentioned in Corinthians. And now these three remain: faith, hope and love. It's also powerful. It moves us to action, to seek out and fight injustices. 140 years ago now, our founder, Edward Rudolph, believed that all children should have a safe place, and so founded the network of children's homes with just a few key supporters. Today, we're a national charity helping thousands of young people each year, and many more through campaigning changes. So, hope endures. Even at this present time, hope feels very apt. I know we're all hoping for an end in sight to the pandemic. And it feels different this time around, doesn't it? The darker evenings and less opportunity to get out in the colder days. I know we're all keeping hope that soon we'll be able to see loved ones safely again. And also hope that the new vaccines will provide protection. But hope isn't just about wishful thinking, it's a confident expectation. And hope can be found when we look outside and see bulbs peeking through the earth, silently growing over those dark and cold months. Now, new shoots of hope are beginning to emerge. For the Children's Society, our overarching mission for the decade ahead, with our supporters standing with us, is fighting for hope. Sometimes hope takes a battering. Sometimes it's hidden by doubt, aggression or mistrust. Sometimes it's hanging by a thread. But we know it's there, and that's why we do everything in our power to restore it, protect it and strengthen it. Today, in our society, there are different threats to the hopes and lives of children and young people. I want to talk to you now about one of the areas of work which we cover nationally, which is supporting those who have been exploited. Now, exploitation can take many forms, but the focus I would like to touch on is that of criminal exploitation. And you may know of this, one form of this is county lines. One of the Children's Society services that we operate is called Disrupting Exploitation, and this service makes children safer, gives them a better understanding of exploitation and improves their relationships with family and friends. Many will have missed out on school, healthy friendships, and normal things that teenagers do. With their willingness and energy, our therapy sessions help them rebuild their trust. 75% of young people we worked with reported feeling safer. We also work with the police, local authorities, the NHS and schools. Through our award-winning project with the Met Police, we've also trained over 1,000 staff working in custody to build rapport with children, identify risks early on, and take the right steps to keep the child out of custody in the future. This is called systems change work and helps improve the systems that children and young people come into contact with. With everything that we do, we ensure that young voices are heard. Their experiences and stories are fed back into shaping these programmes for the future. One of our project workers reflects, a lot of these children are targeted by gangs because they haven't got a family or security. They're made to feel part of a family and can be groomed with gifts and affection, but soon the abuse starts and the child is trapped in this cycle. Young people who are groomed are manipulated and controlled by their abusers. As part of the grooming process, the abuser will make the children and young people mistrust social workers and the police, and many involved will be scared of telling on someone because of the repercussions they might have been threatened with. My role as a project worker is to build a trusting relationship with child victims of this form of exploitation. We do this through constant and persistent support for that young person, so they don't feel like anyone is giving up on them. That might be by meeting up with that child for a coffee and a chat, or dropping them a text or a call to keep in touch so they know they aren't going through this alone. As well as this, we also help to educate victims about the grooming process in exploitation, helping them to understand how the media can glamorise this environment. Most importantly, we safeguard and protect these young people. I work with them to create a safety plan, which helps prevent the abuse from escalating. In some instances, a young person may come to me having been threatened with kidnapping and serious violence. In order to keep that child safe, I work with other agencies such as the police and social services to share information that will ensure the child is moved to a place of security and safety. In particular, the Children's Society are pioneering in this area of criminal exploitation. We are in a good position to not only help a young person's emotional and mental well-being, but also to influence and inform different services that work with victims too. In addition, by educating other professionals to better support young people affected by exploitation, we can help disrupt these cycles of abuse. As an organisation, we created a video to help raise awareness too. A thing called Hope was shown on TV just before Christmas time actually, and the video is available to watch on our YouTube channel as well. And it focuses on the story of a young boy called Reese and the journey of child criminal exploitation. The Hope meter is shown throughout the short clip at an all-time low when Reese is arrested by the police. At the station, he encounters a Children's Society project worker, and gradually we see his Hope meter rising as he's being supported through the traumatic process. This is a key part of our work, recognising that children are victims of exploitation and need help and support from a dedicated professional. Our aim as a charity is that we can empower the young people we work with to build their hope for the future. And with all we do, young voices are at the heart of our organisation. For example, our young trustees and our participation groups across the different services. We even have a campaign which is led by young people around separated children. Having been through the process themselves, they want to change the future process for the better of those young people going through it. At the time of recording, the Guardian's campaign has had over 16,000 signatures and we're aiming for 20,000. If you may be able to add your voice to this campaign, please take a look on our website and you can do so. May I finish by thanking you all for standing with us as a charity as we seek to empower hope for children and young people. To each and every one of you, thank you so much for supporting us through fundraising, adding voice to our campaigns and prayer.